I'm Brian Larson, Chief Technology Officer at Superior Consulting Services. Welcome to Part 4 of our series on the Power BI toolset. In this video, we'll look at data visualization using Power View. The Power View tool provides a way to analyze the data in the model through the creation of various visualizations. Power View can be used to create everything from a simple tabular representation to complex charts and maps. Multiple visualizations can be included on a single Power View report page. Power View allows the user to explore the data through interaction and manipulation, but it does limit the formatting and the fine control that the user has over the resulting visualizations. The emphasis is on creating very polished and very usable visualizations with just a few clicks. Power View can be found in Excel, in the Power BI Designer, and in the Enterprise Edition of SharePoint. Let's create some Power View visualizations. We add a Power View report to the workbook by selecting the Insert tab on the ribbon and then clicking on the Power View item. Power View will automatically connect to the Power Pivot model already created in the workbook. We're using the Power Pivot model that we created in our earlier sessions, but you'll see we've added information on CO2 emissions and gross domestic product. We'll begin our report by selecting several items from the data model, in this case, continent and country. This creates a table layout of these two items for us by default. Now we'll add the population total, and finally we'll select year. Now we have our data displayed for us, but it might be more helpful to see this information in a matrix format. So we'll select the matrix form of the tabular layout and switch the year to columns so that we get a column for each year in our data set. We'll also enable drill down on the rows in our matrix. We'll go ahead and filter the matrix so that we are only looking at select years. In this case, we'll look at information for every 20 years, starting in 1950 and moving forward. We'll click on the Fit to Window ribbon item to get a little larger view of our report. It doesn't really make sense to total across the years, so we'll turn off that totaling in the matrix. You can see that we've enabled drill down in the matrix so that we can drill down from continent to country. Finally, we'll provide a nice title for the report. We'll go ahead and add another Power View report into the workbook. We'll again look at population total by year, but this time we'll display the information in the form of a column chart. Next, we'll add country/territory as a table, and we'll make that table a slicer. That slicer will now filter any of the other visualizations that we have on that Power View report. We'll delete the slicer and look at another way to interact with the data called tiling. We'll select the country's flag as the tile by item. And now we can move through the various countries to look at their population across the years. We'll add a slicer based on continent, so now we can slice by continent and then move through our tiles for the various countries within that continent. If we make a little room here within our tile container, we can even add a second set of data within the tile container. In this case, we'll look at CO2 emissions. We'll also look at that by year, and we'll make that a column chart. And finally, we'll filter the years on that bar chart so that they align with the years of our population chart. You can see as I use the slicer and the tiles, I can view information for various items within my data set. We'll add another PowerView report to our spreadsheet. In this case, we'll look at population total, as well as gross domestic product and CO2 emissions. We'll look at that by country, and we're going to change that into a scatter plot. Finally, we'll take the year and we'll add that to the play axis on the scatter plot. What that allows us to do is look at changes in these three measures across time. We'll filter the countries so that we're only looking at members of the G20. And we'll filter the years so that we just have a select set of years across our data set. Now when we hit play, we can see how the information changes across time. We can click on a particular bubble to see its path through time. And if we play while that item is still clicked, then it is highlighted with respect to the other items on the chart. Let's add one more PowerView report to our spreadsheet. In this case, we're going to look at country and product type, and then we'll examine the total sales for each product type. And we'll visualize that information on a map. To allow things to fit a little better, we'll put the legend of the map across the bottom. We'll turn off the map title to make a little more room. And for variety, we'll look at a different map background there, one that has a nice blue oceans for us. We can hover over a particular country's information to see the detail as we perform our analysis. As you can see, we can create a wide variety of visualizations in a very short time using PowerView and perform some very powerful analysis. Be sure to continue on to part 5 of our series to learn about Power Map. If you're looking for additional information or assistance with any of the Power BI tools, please check out our website at www.teamscs.com.